Today is the 14th of May. It is Wednesday. I'm up bright and early. Nice and cool this morning. I love it. This is the Plan Your Trade video for Wednesday the 14th. Today we're looking at a carryover pattern in carryover mode. Now, what's interesting about this pattern is that it's basically a carryover of the last couple of days, but we're not seeing a whole lot of upward movement here. Now, maybe, we're up 20% or 0.2, not 20%, 0.2%, up about 1 point. It'd be very interesting to see how this plays out over the next day or so. But what I found was rather interesting was this, and this is it. This is a chart that I created on TradingView using some of my proprietary stuff. That's what these markers are. And it was designed to show you cycle trending, and the blue line I found rather interesting considering where we're at right now as a high in early May, moving into this low back here, May low, rolling sideways into the July low, rolling up into the October low, which could be here or here. I'm going to save this. This is rather interesting in the sense that, you look at this, you look at where we're at, you look at this rebound back up, and when I drew this, March 23rd, so that's well before the tariffs, well before the issues. Now, granted, I drew the low down here at around 520. I didn't draw it down here around 480 where we were recently, but let's see how this plays out. This could be very telling if the market decides to follow along here. So again, very interesting move here, showing the May high or the late April, early May high rolling into this weakness. We'll see if it holds up. I don't know. But, the long and short of it is we'll just see. So where we're at right now, we're flagging up into the pattern. I talked to you about this yesterday. Would be very interesting if that May high holds up, like I showed you, that early May, and we do get some kind of a roll down into some low here, rolling back out into some July. Well, I got to do this a little differently. May, June, rolling back up, back down into some July low here, rolling back up and sideways into some October low down here. I think it would be extremely ironic that if something like that were to happen and play out as efficiently as I had drawn this back in March, I don't know what to say. I just say that, wow, if it happens, wow. And what it would be something along the lines of this dark blue line. So we'll see. But right now we're up in the 7.5 area, 7.5 or 0.75% retracement, three quarter. We're up in that zone. I can move the little upper zone up a bit, kind of in an upper window. We'll see how today plays out. And like I said, we're still within that consolidation range. We're still trending upward. We're still generally bullish. And we're in a carryover trade. Tomorrow we have a crush pattern, which is a big breakdown pattern, potentially. And then we have a gap potential on Friday in trending mode. Be very interesting to see how the markets react tomorrow. Now let's take a look at the QQQ. QQQ moved quite a bit higher yesterday. Let's take a look at this. Visual order to front. See the big move up yesterday outside of this island range again. So move the island range up a little. We're currently at 517.40, up 0.35, so a little bit higher. Would be very, again, interesting to see if we do get that big rollover back down into this May low, rolling back up into the, well, I'm going to draw it differently. Oops. If we hold to that October low, it would be something like this. And the way I drew the lines is I went from roughly this high out across this high, and then I went across this high, coming across an upper range, and then I went across this low, coming down to a lower range. So it gives you kind of an idea of, what and where. And again, I just pay attention to this. Really, this struck me for being, 2 months ago, almost 2 months ago, it played out pretty solidly. But we'll see how it plays out today or into the next week or so. We'll see if it rolls over and goes from there. But, ultimately, we are still bullish. We're still in an uptrend. Remember, even though I draw these downturns, I don't want to get you confused. We are still bullish. We are in carryover trending. We're bullish, 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 explosive upward trending. I do believe this crush pattern will be a downward day, and I do believe this gap potential could be a downward gap potential. But we shall see how things play out. Right now, with this big rally, can't really argue anything being bearish. Don't need to be taking shorts. I'm not going to try to mislead anyone. I'm just going to try to call it because I'm getting messages from people that are saying that my analysis is a little confusing at times. So let's just stick with the basics, okay? I'm going to stick with the basics and not try to lead you, because when I tell you, the markets are rolling or potentially will roll, that's really based on this type of analysis, okay? Forward looking, potential, maybe 50-50, maybe 60-40, maybe 70-30 as far as potential accuracy. I like to think that I'm pretty good at it, but in reality, you guys need to make decisions, and I don't want to confuse you. So we're going to stick with the basics, and that way you guys can make your own decisions. We don't take trends until we get some confirmation of the direction. And in this case, we do not start to short until we get confirmation of a breakdown. That's the way that it works. We won't be taking any puts until we know the market is starting to break down and or my directional systems here start to really confirm the downward trend. So we're generally in an uptrend. We are going to be moving higher, should be continuing to move higher. We're in an uptrend. There is nothing telling us that we are going to potentially top and or roll over here. Eventually, we will get confirmation. So let's move on to gold and silver. Gold and silver are bearish. Check out here, guys. Look at. We moved into bearish trending yesterday. Right here. Topping pattern with bearish trending just below 300 on GLD. Now we have the flat down pattern in carryover mode today. Might be kind of sideways flat. Then we have the breakaway potential in trending mode. Then we have the rally and counter trend mode. Counter trend mode, if we stay bearish, would be to the upside. So this rally might actually be kind of a bigger bar to the upside. We'll see how it plays out. Ultimately, though, with gold and silver, we've got to watch this rolling bottoming pattern here. This is a 1 hour chart. I was at a 4 hour chart before. We've got to watch this rolling bottoming pattern here. You see this low level that I drew here? I'll make it kind of a red color. And here. That low, 32.25 roughly, or lower, 32.14, that's got to really hold up here, okay? Same thing over here. Silver's much higher, but we're looking for the lows on silver right around 32.10 to try to hold up here. If we get below this level, we're probably going to see a moderate breakdown in gold and silver. So understand that if gold gets below this level here, we'll probably see a breakdown. And same thing over here. If silver gets below this $32 level with any momentum, we'll probably see a bit of a breakdown in metals. I hopefully am not going to see that happen. I still like the idea of metals moving quite a bit higher, but it is what it is right now. You know, you got to just take your lumps and try to keep trading, preserve capital. So that, again, not really looking great for metals. I'd love to see a rebound here, but it's not happening yet. Okay, we come over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is stalling out up here near this topping pattern, potentially topping pattern. We're still in this upward flag. We're still bullish. So here, bullish, bullish, potential bullish. We'll see how it goes. We're in this upward flagging formation, you know, close to these highs. If we're going to form any type of a rollover top, it would be right over in this area. But I want you guys to realize that, you know, we are still in this upward trend. There's nothing saying we're going to go down. There's nothing saying that we've got to roll over. You know, this flagging trend is actually quite bullish until we get confirmation of a breakdown. And that hasn't happened yet. So where we would be looking for a breakdown is something off of these rejection points. Maybe somewhere over in this area. Some kind of a breakdown zone. You know, could fall into this zone and not really, you know, just be a deeper pullback. Kind of like this. That wouldn't bother me. It would be, I'd have to kind of get out of that zone and break downward. That would be, to me, more of a breakdown. Okay, lastly, I wanted to show you some of these. I highlighted these the other day, and it's something that I like to use internally. But these TT scanner algos that I use, not here, hold on. These TT scanner algos that I use, these things are my automated systems. They have been rocking. Look at these daily swing trades. QTech, 9.8%. QID, 16%. XOP, almost 3%. IBIT, 10%, almost 11%. SDS, 12%. IGV, almost 11%. There's dozens of these guys. And they come in any interval, okay? Almost any interval. 2-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute, 60-minute, or 30-minute, 60-minute, and daily. And they've just been rocking. So, you know, when you come in here, and I want you to realize that you're trying to find the best trade setups, I give you just the basics over here with the cycle patterns. Some of my proprietary stuff is just rocking right now. And, you know, it's really incredible to see. The markets, you know, this is a very broad type of a move in the markets. You can't argue with the fact that we're seeing a big move in the SPY. We're seeing a big move. This is the amount of an annual move. From April to May, 1 month, we're up 20%. That's a really good year on the SPY. In fact, that's probably one of the best years we've had. I think we had 23, 24% back after COVID, but that is a healthy rally for a 1-year total off of lows. Which is why I think, like I said, off of these deep lows here to get back up into these areas. We need to see some kind of tremendous economic growth. I still don't see it yet. That's my personal opinion. I still don't see it yet. Okay, it is early in the morning, 5:20. I'm going to go get some coffee. Go get some today. I would urge everyone to stay a bit cautious. Remember to hedge. Remember to protect capital. And remember, the whole goal of trading is taking calculated risks to try to find profits. So remember, that is the major rule. Number one, protect capital. Number two, you're trying to take calculated risks to gain profits. If the trades don't work, don't get married to them, get out of them, look for another trade. Okay, guys, talk to you later.